Welcome to the Center for Missions and Evangelism here at Mid-America Reformed Seminary. I'm Eric Watkins, the director of the program. I want to talk a little bit about what we're doing and how it might benefit the local church. The CME, Center for Missions and Evangelism, can be thought about in many ways like a four-legged stool. Part of it is here and embodied on campus in classes that focus on different aspects of evangelism, church planning, aspects of mission, and the life of the church, practical subjects that benefit not only students that are preparing for the ministry, but even for pastors, parishioners, church leaders that are interested in those classes and the subjects that they address. So classes is the first part. Secondly, we are doing conferences that focus on different themes related to the ministry of the church, but in particular, practical things like what does it mean to be the church in a social justice age, or reaching our neighbors for Christ, things along those lines. Third leg of the stool is cohorts. By contrast to conferences, cohorts are invitation-only events where a handful of local church leaders or church leaders that travel in by invitation come and gather together, really just to create, to use a popular phrase, safe space, talk about ministry challenges and different dynamics that confront church leaders, where we might get together for a number of hours in a day and have a speaker or two that addresses a certain subject, spending a lot of time not only in conversation, but in fellowship, in prayer with one another, eating good food, and just letting our hair down and unwinding a bit. Hopefully going back to our positions of ministry, being encouraged by the cohort and the friendships that we just either formed newly or nurtured in our time together. And then finally, a very important part of the Center for Missions and Evangelism is the desire to create and further internship programs where students here at the seminary that have a particular interest, say in church planning or foreign missionary work or a nuanced form of domestic missions, they might be partnered with a minister or a ministry that's already doing that kind of work and thriving in it. So on the one hand, we're grooming interns for this program, but we're also grooming, mentoring pastors or church leaders that might be able to invest into our students with the end of helping them not only discern their call, but become more gifted and fit for it by the time they're actually ordained or sent into the ministry. So those are the four legs of the stool: classes, conferences, cohorts, and internships. But still the question remains, why the CME? It's not so much running a critique on anything else that is out there, but really desiring to add more emphasis on things missional for the sake of the local church. That word missional is sometimes controversial or understood different ways. Jesus clearly gave a great commission to his church, and the more we feel like we can adequately prepare students for serving the church in those evangelistic missional ways, the more we feel like we will bring honor to the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. So the CME exists not only to help further nourish students that are preparing for gospel ministry, but also to be a blessing to establish churches and their leadership that want to engage certain aspects of ministry and further the work of the kingdom. If you'd like to contact us, you can find our information at midamerica.edu/CME. I'd be quite happy to hear from you myself. Again, my name is Eric Watkins. Welcome to the Center for Missions and Evangelism.